Bonjour. I am Dan the man. Well, sorry, Dan the money man, and I help people get 50 to $500,000 in business funding with 0% interest for 6 to 18 months and then some. All right. In the past, I've been in many different businesses, and I saw and experienced, how crucial it was to having access to large sums of capital is to survive, unexpected economic downturns and just expand the business. So that is why I got into the business. And so hopefully you don't have to experience not having enough capital as I did in the past. But my vision for the future is to create one of America's largest cooperative corporations and basically share the wealth a little bit more equitably. You still have to earn your keep in this world, but there's no way around it, people. If you're in an island, your job now is to find food, shelter, and energy, right? So anyways, but that's a whole other story. Speaking of videos, you're not going to see that many videos on here because I'm about quality over quantity, and I know YouTube rewards you for posting as consistent as possible, and it all depends, right? I mean, they're also kind of always changing their algorithm, so that's kind of why it's all kind of crazy all sometimes. But anyways, yeah, so no special editing, just pure value on these videos, right? As you guys will get to know me, and obviously I'll be putting more stuff on this channel. Not too much, but enough. You'll see why why all these I guess you can say YouTube, cuts. Yes, some of you will need that to like keep you paying attention, but if you need those things, you might need a detox, a dopamine detox. But I digress. Anyways, you can give me if you find value in this, which certain people will not give you this information. Basically, they won't consult you until you pay them their service. I've been looking at my competition, and the last one I talked to charges 15K. All right, 15K. That's just their base level. Then they have their mastermind, which is 30K. So not that I won't have my own kind of mastermind thing, but like I said, I have a bigger. When I look at my competitors, no one's really doing what I'm doing for the most part. But I digress. Anyways, yeah. So let's get started. So life in order is not just about getting you funded, but that's the main thing because again, money is so important, right? But in this particular video, we're just basically going to uh you know basically what I'm doing here is planting seeds, right? So that in the two, well, it depends where you're at in your journey in this, right? This is just me assuming you have nothing, right? So let's say you have nothing, right? If you have a credit card or so and it's like a year old or it's 2 years, okay, that's great. But what you're going to learn here is that as some people, as I've seen some of these threads in many different, from Twitter, sorry, X to YouTube, right? Credit is a big mystery, and it was for me too. But then, because of a series of incidents, it just kind of fell in my lap, I guess. Right? I was needing money, and I found about this, even though I didn't pursue this business um, right away. Um, it just clicked on me, later down the road. But anyways, I'm not gonna bore you with all that. Let's just get to it, right? Sometimes I know I tend to ramble because I just love giving lots of information, but also I know sometimes it's just better just to be like, boom, cut all the fat out and I'll add more in the videos later, right? Or the other videos that I'll be posting. The way I'm kind of approaching my YouTube channel is basically again starting from the ground up, right? And just building on that. So for those of you that already have some kind of credit, there'll be another video, and I may drop a little gems in here too. But yeah, anyways, in a sense, this is worth about $15,000 worth, if not more. Trust me, because this is in this world of business funding, especially this type of business funding where it's called no doc, no collateral, no bank statements, none of that stuff. Um, what's it called? Um, yeah, the prices people charge are all over the place, but you're not guaranteed a specific result. A lot of the stuff is how to put it. Mm, there's a lot of intellectual property here, right? And what I've seen from not only looking at my competitors, but some using some of my competitors, right? So now I know what they provide. That's why, I said, okay, let me try them out. And I still actually will try some of my other competitors. I will be basically paying for the service for some from some special students if we have some kind of bond or click or whatever, and then there's some kind of rapport and trust. Then I'll be like, okay, listen, do me a favor, or I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay these persons a service. I just want to see what they know, right? I just want to see what they know. So it's like having a mole, right? A spy into those things. But again, because I'm just saying, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I know everything of this space or whatnot. And even if you know something, in the sense, let's say the bank's underwriting matrix, it can change like that, right? And that's why I'll be building a community here for the most part, where, and there's other ones you can find online too. Some of them are dated or whatever, but yeah, creating a community. I don't know if I'm going to use Facebook yet or Telegram or whatever, but because Telegram, I could send big files, and I don't really like Facebook, but I might do them all just for the group, for the people that like using Facebook, they'll be in the Facebook. For the people who like using Telegram, Discord, whatever, they'll be there. So, but yeah, because as every time we have one of my mentees get approved for something, right, you'll get access to that as well. Saying basically, okay, yes, I had this credit profile, this score, I applied this bank in this state, because see, it's all those things, all those things matter. Okay, you can have the same bank in a different state and they'll pull from different reports. So, all right, but anyways, just saying here, step one, give me $330 if you want a Cash App at $ Dan the Bizman, or PayPal. This roadmap will be. Oh, sorry. Let me unredact this for you guys. All right. What the? There we go. Because what I was gonna show you is like, okay, in a sense, I don't know. I think it was Warren Buffett. He said something about the young know the rules, but the old people know, or the wise elders, whatever, however you put it. I gotta find it in my meme somewhere. But they know the exceptions to the rule, or the nuances, right? So these are just, like I say, the rules, but these are all the little things that you have to, in a sense, factor in. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, so this will be a public roadmap, and you can go here and you can click the links, and it will take you right. This one you'll have to screenshot, or just obviously put in the information. I don't know why it doesn't show a picture, but you'll recognize me. I usually have my Audi in there. Well, former Audi, because I turned in. Well, my lease was gonna go up, and I was gonna be. Well, I am traveling actually. I'm visiting family here. My sister had her first kid, but I'll probably be posting some of my other social media. My little niece, she's so cute. But all right, anyways, so yeah, if you feel that I've given you any value, I'll probably make another video showing you the truth that this information is worth thousands of dollars, right? Because this would be the foundation that will lead you to get thousands of dollars. And even if you're not even, some of this will be people, even if you're not looking to get business funding at all, people, I'm still giving you what I call credit level one, right? You want to master credit level one. That way you get the cheapest interest rates on when you lease a car or buy a car, a home. Credit is everything in this country, and it's good. It's very important to get this baseline down right, because if you do it right here too, I'm trying to tell people too now. Like, now that I know this too, I'm like, it clicked in my head not too long ago. I'm like, well, you should still get the business. You should just open up an LLC, which is the second level, what I call second level, or Super Saiyan. You'll hear me say Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan level number two. Uh, what's it called? Yeah, so Super Saiyan level two is just the LLC side, and Super Saiyan level three is the corporate side. But anyways, the point is, you get an LLC, and then you get a bunch of business cards, and that way, not only will you have more money, right, but when you buy your usual stuff that you're going to pay with your regular personal card, it's not going to affect your score at all, right? They're separated. All right. So, but anyways, let's get to it. First step, make a copy of my organizer. So when you click here, you gotta be kidding me. hold on. Let me see what happened over here. There it is. You're going to be taken over here. Let's go back. So let's see if it does that again so that it knows. Oops. Yep. There we go. So now that it knows every time I click here, it goes over there. All right. There we go. So first thing is you make a copy of this. Why is it going to? Oh, yeah. Accounts. Sorry. You make a copy. Sorry. It should be going over here. So you go here and you say make copy and you label it whatever, okay, and make a copy. Because this won't even let you edit it because you're just going to be in view mode, but you will be able to copy it, right? So once you copy it, now you have here your checklist of what you got to do, right? It's kind of mirrored over here as well. And so, again, if you click these, then it's going to take you to the same spreadsheet. And obviously don't copy it again because I gave you all the crucial ones you need right here, okay? Because yeah, I'll get into it later. Okay, so make a copy of the organizer because down the road, if you become a customer of mine, a mentee actually, then this will be needed as well. So step 3, get your credit reports just to make sure you know so here I'm also assuming, let's say that you're also 18 and have no credit, sorry, no credit at all. But even if you had some credit already, right? Maybe you got a loan for a car, or you got a little teaser credit card, right? You still always want to check your reports and obviously do some other stuff I'll show you to protect your identity, because if your shit gets stolen, it is a pain in the keister. I'm trying not to swear on this channel. It's a pain in the keister to rectify. Okay, so now yeah, get your credit report just to make sure no one has stolen your identity. Okay, so as you can see here, this was the checklist, but again, we'll click here. Well, no, this time we'll just keep going back and forth. Okay, so that's why it's the first one, because you're basically going to go through these steps, right? And then you're going to create an account, and then over here on the accounts, you're going to put in the information, right? So let's say Experian, you're going to copy the link, right? The login link, then put in whatever you use for your login. Password over here, it's already in white, so whatever you type, see, I'm typing, let's see, password, right? You can't see it here. You can see it here, but if you want, you could also go over here. So I'm also kind of training you guys how to do this, how to use spreadsheets. But you go to where to go. You go to View, and you go to Show, and then you go to Formula Bar and uncheck it. And see, and now no one can see it. So you can just click here, copy and paste, and I've made this because well, first of all, I had so many accounts and I have to way to track them, but I see so many people have it on paper, right? As you'll hear some of my mentee testimonials, right? Where, yeah, obviously some people are trusting the Google. They're like, well, what if that gets hacked? Well, if you're using the Google keychains or whatever, it's, if someone gets your computer, your phone, what's the point? What's the point of having that? At least with this, you can lock this app with the phone, lock the app, and then basically you kind of have a double password, right? So, yeah, I created this. Where'd it go? Let me delete that because hold on, let me view the formula bar so I know it's erased. Okay. So that's why it's already pre-programmed in white so that you can't see it, but you'll see it in the formula bar. So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff. Even I don't usually end up filling all this stuff sometimes, but I did it because there was times that I wanted to be thorough, right? So especially when I had multiple numbers and I had multiple emails, so I sometimes I'm like, okay, what did I use on that one? And then yeah, when I usually end up calling like customer service or something happens, then I'm like, okay, then I update this stuff. If they're like, no, that's the wrong number, I'd be like, okay, it was this number, and then I put in the last 4 digits, usually right here. Okay, so that's a little bit of that. Back to the roadmap. Okay, so you're going to create an account with Experian, the king. All right, Experian is the king. There's always a levels to the levels in a hierarchy. All right, TransUnion is the queen, and that's why I'm putting it from left to right. And Equifax is the stepchild, as one of my mentees said. All right, these are the numbers and hours of operation. You probably won't need them right now. And then also open an account with Credit Karma, because Credit Karma will give you a better version of TransUnion and Equifax. Trust me, I know. And you will probably see that too when you open up an account here, especially those of you who have some kind of credit. you're going to see that their layout is basically garbage for the most part, right? But Credit Karma does not give you Experian, though Experian is free anyways, right? Don't don't you know don't let them fool you. Usually when you keep logging in, it's going to ask you to like renew your membership or pay for this. Just scroll down and read the fine print. It says just skip, say something about skip and go to my free membership or whatever. All right, so don't let them fool you. There's better credit monitoring service you can get than them. Okay, and that's in the spreadsheet as well, which is basically myfico.com. But we don't need that right now. And plus, if you're one of my clients that I'm going to repair their credit, I have a software and it just imports everything and it does that fine in there. You'll still have to get a subscription to monitor your credit, but it will plug into my system a lot better. This is just for ease of this is for you, and of course for me to easily review before we get too deep. All right, now get a budgeting app to use it to figure out. I should be going closer here because I forget you guys are going to be probably smaller phone and I got this huge screen here. um get a budgeting app to use it to figure out your expenses and estimate the best number of unfixed expenses. Okay, so these are all the ones I painstakingly went through. All right. I didn't have a time to test them all. Luckily, I tested Rocket, and Rocket was pretty good. This one I'm using right now with my client to manage her personal and her business. This one's not it right here, but if you click around, you'll see they'll give you an option of having a personal and business combined. I'm like, that's perfect. Man, you guys don't even know what pain I went through because I didn't know these apps existed. And maybe they even existed back then, but they probably weren't refined as much. That's what I see often. That sometimes you'll be like, "Man, this app doesn't do what I want," and then you come back maybe years later and be like, "Oh, damn! Now they actually fixed it, and you know, now it's better." But I've been using Rocket. It's cool. Sometimes you have to reconnect the card. Maybe it's not even their fault. It's just I guess for banking security purposes or whatever. So yeah, sometimes that's annoying. Sometimes it doesn't sync. Like my bank was not syncing. Might just be my bank. Who knows? It's not a big bank per se, but they are making waves when it comes to business banks, which I'm not gonna get in here again. I gotta leave some meat on the bone, basically. So I can't give you everything for free, but trust me, this right here is very valuable, right? As some of you who probably won't understand until you're years down the road. Okay. Credit is a big mystery to most people. Okay. And I'm demystifying it all here. These are just basically the core things you're going to need. Okay. So as long as this video is going to be, because I'm not really having a timer, just kind of going off of my head, right? No script. Um, yeah, this is worth a lot of information, right? That will save you a lot of headaches. Which I might do a video one time of just reviewing, like I said, the comments that I see all the time. Oh, I paid off my car and my credit dropped. I applied for a credit card, I didn't get applied, and I got 830 score, yada yada yada. It's not just about your score, people. Okay, we're not even gonna get that because that's like level two. If you're not gonna go and get an LLC and and leverage your credit, then there's no reason to go to that extra level because you're now dealing with other third party databases. Okay, and there's a lot of them. It's annoying, and then government agencies as well that you got to contact to get all that straightened out. Okay, so yes, get Rocket and figure out your expenses. As you'll see here, figure out your expenses and what can be put on credit cards. So this is a screenshot of Rocket, right? So this that way you'll be able to tell what you need. Okay, and then this is a screenshot of the thing. So we'll go over here and I guess I'll give you a quick, oh yeah, I forgot. And there's also over here, I put it over here. About to get an iPhone, even though like, but Dan, you got a MacBook and all this other stuff. It's like, why don't you have an iPhone? It's like, it's a long story, man. But I'm about to get one so I can build my systems on the iPhone as well. And who knows? I may go full convert. But dealing with my mentees, I have iPhones, and I'm helping them structure and organize their iPhones and everything else and iPads. Some of the apps that I like do not have the same widgets, and I'm just like, man, that sucks. It's less efficient in my opinion. But so yeah, so here they are again. If you want to explore, so yeah, I got some notes here. Like I said, for most of you, I'm pretty sure Rocket would be just enough. There's just enough. I mean, there's other ones that I found on the Play Store that are like 10 million downloads, right? And I've tried to find one that has one you could take a picture of receipt, but they're so slow that I know you're not gonna want to like put the receipt. So ultimately, just what I do is just every time you pay something, just take out your phone, double click the power button like mine is. Hopefully yours is like that, or you can program it to be that way and just take a picture, and that's it. At least you have some kind of record, right? And then and if you're really worried about it, send it to the cloud. But yeah, so there's that tab right as well. So you can click them on here. So again, you can also click over here, right? Just go boom, and it'll take you to the thing, or the spreadsheet. I'm an engineer. I put some redundancies, all right, because that's just being more efficient. Okay. Oh yeah. So now let's go to the all expenses. Okay, this is just an example, but as you can see, this person has five. Well, yeah, this is actually based on one of my mentees, and I just left it like that, and made some other things that just to kind of give you guys an idea. But so yeah, you put your rent here because of course usually rent is cash based, but now with the bill card, which I'll show you guys later, with that what that young guy did, now you can pay this with credit card. So this is kind of a again. So if it is, then you would just copy this and you would paste it here, right, and delete that. So that way, because this is also was going to be factored down here. It's a formula. Okay. So let me undo this. Oh, what the hell? Really? Is that what it's going to do? Bah. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, you plug in your numbers, okay, and then there's unfixed expenses, which is usually your food, your water, right? So don't don't edit these because these are tied to over here. So watch. If I go to water and I put, let's say, $10 a month. Wait, what? Wait, I thought I hold on. Yep, I probably didn't finish it. Gas equals, where's the gas? The gas right here. Obviously, I'm not going to give you a full spreadsheet rundown. I mean, there's plenty of other electric. Okay, there's nothing there. There's plenty of people that will show you how to use these and make the formula. But this is a quick rundown. So some of you that may have already some kind of experience with spreadsheets, but so yeah. So in this case, yes, you would put all your expenses here, and then you would select them if you can pay them with the credit card, right? And then okay, so sorry. Right here, it's going to tell you. Oops, I forgot. Oh, that's 200 already. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully, you guys can see it better, but because I've maxed out, you can't go beyond 200. So here will break down what you need to make basically per month to break even. Okay. You put in your monthly net income, right? Of course, it's going to fluctuate. And what's nice about this is that as you put in new numbers, let's say this time I'm going to put 3,000. Okay, you can click here and say show edit history, and then you can go back and you can see the range and maybe create another send another sheet, create an average, and then you can get an average. Usually I go with the most lowest one, so I'm conservative, right? Don't go with the highest number you had, go with the lowest. Well, it depends on what we're calculating, right? So in this context, go with the lowest that you've made throughout the month, right? That way that way you'll be pleasantly surprised with what you have left over, right? So then over here, it tells you what you have left over, to invest, save, invest, pay down debt, whatever. Okay. Here you put your subscriptions because let's say your subscription is $75, right? It's going to alter over here. And this is just telling you to put the money away. Now, if you don't care about that, just click that off and then that doesn't matter. You just know that you're going to have this measly $110, you know, when that happens, right? And most likely these will be on your credit cards anyway. So, you'll have other people's money, right? So, anyways, so yeah, this is also just telling you the overall total of the expenses you have per year. And of course, what you can do here, you can always, I always leave one here in the room here, and I go and I say insert above. That way I can say sub 4, right? And I put, I don't know, $20, and then it already adds the formula. Because if you create it here, it should do it as well. If you go right here and then add, let's say, $25. Yeah, see, sometimes it's goofy. Sometimes it doesn't want to do that. So that way it's just better just to go above here. Wait, hold on, let me make sure. Oh, that's why. Okay, there we go. Okay, now it should be fine when you go like this. hit it up, hit 25 bucks. Okay. Oops. And then yeah, you have to program because it's a whole new line and it's ridiculous. But I like making it blue. Anything that's blue, basically, it's meant to be adjusted. Okay. Now, so yeah, so that will tell you what you gotta say put aside for for those yearly subscriptions that will come around. And then over here, this number is reflecting what you selected here. Okay. So let's say you do have a garbage bill, right? And it says 10 bucks. Okay. Add the 10 bucks, but also click it here because it's yellow. So then you can go like this, hit that one, hit the Alt button on or Command on the Mac, and then select both cells, and then come over here and then color them so that way yellow means credit card, green means cash. Okay, or sorry, the orange. I'm using that more of an orange because it's more subtle than this bright yellow. So let me color correct that right now. Yeah. Yep. All right. So this tells you how much um, your bills can be paid with, how much, what's the total of bills you would, the amount of money you need in your credit card. Okay. And then over here, I put divided by three because let's say you have three secure credit cards. But of course, it's not usually breaks down that we're just doing simple math here, right? You might be like, well, in this card, I actually need 500 bucks because my utilities and this and that, added up. Again, I'm not gonna get too complicated because then that will be me giving you free consulting services that I can't give you everything for free because people don't appreciate what they don't pay for. Okay. So, anyways, and this tells you how much minimum cash you need, right? Based on the cash ones. See, so cash, credit card. All right. So, so yeah, if you create a line item, and then also I forgot. So this is not in order yet. I'm not going to show you how to do that either, but um, actually I'll do it right now. We'll do it like this, so maybe you guys can see. It's a way of showing you, but here, let's go over here and we go to data, sort of range, advanced, and we go to column C. So now, of course, usually rent is like first, right? But anyways, I normally have this by the date, right? And sometimes it ranges. So let's say that if this one ranges from the 12 to the 15th of when they draw from your bank. Again, you're gonna have to review your bank statement sometimes, or again the budget app. You should have access to your bank through there too, and you'll be able to see that, and you'll put a range, right? Because I also have this. Hold on. Well, I don't have it here for you. Well, okay. I'm going too deep on this specific template here that I have, but so yeah, so this is just to use to figure out how much money you're going to need. So so if you have this amount of money in savings, generally double, then you know what to put on the insecure, sorry, the unsecured, sorry, the secured credit cards, right? Which we're going to get into here soon. So yeah, so this is just a template I gave you to figure out your expenses. Okay. So you use Rocket Money or some other thing to figure out the average for the things that fluctuating, right? So for the things that fluctuate, you want to go with the highest. So let's say, for example, right, electricity. That's what I do, right? We know electricity is going to vary, well, depending where you live too, right? But in general, right, in the springtime, the AC is not going to turn on as much, right? In the summertime, the AC is going to turn on. The fall, it's not going to turn. Basically, fall and spring are pretty much the same, right? And then in the winter, you're going to use a lot more heat, so you might use gas, right? But you still have electricity has to run the mortar. So either way, the point is you find your highest electricity bill and you use that number. And given how what's going on now with this hyperinflation, even you might just be like, okay, I'm just going to tack on another 3%, 8% inflation because that's what the government tells me it's at, you know. Okay, so now that you got that, right, you figured out your expenses and what you can put on credit cards, right? Now you get 3 secure credit cards as soon as you turn 18. Again, this is a video too for if you're not 18 yet, right? So whoever falls in this and you're not 18 yet, you are blessed and you don't even know it if you follow the instructions. Because I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter how much financial literacy you have, because if you don't have financial discipline, that literacy means nothing. Okay, a lot of us know what to do, but do we do it? No, right? And I'm guilty of it too, but it depends on what we're talking about, right? So that's the difference. I'm the same like some of you guys, but I'm also not the same, you know? Anyways, so you'll be saving your money for your initial, yeah. So be saving your money for your initial deposit if you're not 18 yet, okay? So if you have to go mow lawns, power wash decks, wash some garbage cans, even offer to take their garbage can from their garage to the curb, that's someone's making lots of money doing that business. It's crazy, right? So so yeah, so then I give you all of these already, and I already put it also in the thing. Okay, again, redundancy, so they're right here. All right, you just these are the top ones. Okay, and again, I'm not going to give you this. There's reasons why I have this as well. Okay, there's reasons. So okay, so for example, the reason I have Chase as a number one is because Chase is the big dog, right? They are the biggest bank in America, and you could say in the world, right? In power or whatnot, right? So luckily with them, all you gotta do is create an account. Even though they say that it's not a guarantee, and it might be because again, there's information of you out there that you don't even know about in databases that somehow the algorithm can pick up incorrectly and basically you'll be denied. All right. Again, that's what I'm telling you about. Like level two, when we get to level two, that's a different thing. The level two and level three, it's a different monster. All right. So now with Discover Card, um, well, okay. So first of all, the Chase one is they're probably going to give you somewhat of a unsecured credit because why you already gave them 250. And if you guys know well, I'm going to teach you some of you guys now. The banks make money out of nothing for the most part. Okay, the 250. So if you give them $250, now they can make 9 times that money in new credit, right? That's why people are like, why do these banks do that with no docs and this and that? Like, why is it so hard to get a loan and this and that? Because the way the law is and the way the fractional reserve banking works and the law is structured, right? They're allowed to create new money as so long as they keep the cash, which also was credit in another situation, but that's a whole other story. All right. As long as they keep a certain amount of cash, they can create new credit. Okay. And of course, they're in the business of making money because if the money just sits there, they make no money. So thus they want to give it to you, right? And they use their credit score as a way to gauge if you're trustworthy, right? It's not perfect, and most people fail, right? And that's why I'm having this business here to avoid that. But most people are not going to find me, unfortunately, right? The internet, the world's big anyways, and so that's good because that means there's enough room for everybody. But unfortunately, not everybody's gonna find me. I wish they would. That'd be great. But yeah, they're gonna make errors that I already made, which I'm not gonna get into this video. Okay. All right. So Discover. The reason I chose this too is because it's one of the cards that graduates, as they call it, pretty fast. I've heard 6, 7 months. All right. Um, in their website, I think they said 7, but somebody said somebody did it at 6 months. But that's not really your concern right now, okay? So I put here what's the minimum that you have to put in. It's you can deposit basically, right? So remember, they're gonna hold that money. So even though you're gonna give them money and they're gonna give you a credit card, right? They're gonna treat it as if it's an unsecured credit card. And so um, if you if you if you if you don't pay off the balance, well, first of all, I did choose these to have 0% interest to begin with. Like, I don't know this one actually, but this one should have it because that's what I chose. Hold on, let me double click here. Where is it? Oh no, because this is an unsecured credit card. Yeah. So, but at least it does not have no annual fee. Okay. But you will have to pay that interest rate, even though you gave them the money, right? Because they're basically you're playing pretend, right? That they gave you an unsecured credit card, but they have your money. So they want to see, can you really pay off the card, right? So that's why I said basically double it, right? So, you want a minimum, given the minimum of these, and you need 3 cards, you want a minimum of saving about $1,000. Yeah, you can do 750 bucks. Well, this case, let's say you do go with the top, right? So that's 250, that's 450, that's 300, so that's $750, right? So if you're gonna get these three, you're gonna need at least $700. But like I said, double it. So make it 1,400, right? So anyway, so yeah, ideally you would get these three, right? These are kind of just like, let's say you do get denied for whatever reason. That's why I put these other ones because again, sometimes their systems are wacky, and just is what it is. Okay, so don't be like, oh I got denied. I'm not gonna get approved for another one. It's like no, just try another bank. Okay, don't take no for an answer. Okay. Plus they're unsec- sorry. Plus they're secured, so the chances of them denying you is very slim because you're going to pay them money. Okay, so if you have no credit, you basically you're more or less going to get it. Okay, this one's a little harder to get into with, but if this is for people who have family in the Navy or the military, this by far get it because this one graduates fast and they upgrade you in limits very quickly. Okay, so all right. This is one way of structuring the cards to say of how to, I guess, organize the cards, right? You one card you put all your utilities on, second card you put your food, and the third card you put your gas. Uh, yeah, I don't know why I said fourth. You might no, you don't need to get a fourth. I don't know why I put a fourth there, but not that now again, not that it wouldn't hurt you because again, it's a secured credit card. But again, we're just trying to get the I'm just trying to give you the bare minimum, okay? Because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of money. But again, this is the easiest way to get lots of capital. Even if you're not going to use it, it's good to have it. It's like think of it as an emergency fund, right? Which can also be an opportunity fund. But anyways, but if you get the budgeting app, then this won't matter much. Why? Because this will all the cards will be funneled into the app, and you can categorize what you need, and that way you'll know what you're spending on whatever, right? So now, of course, looking at your own expenditures and seeing which card gives you the best reward and all this other stuff, right? Then you would want to I don't know, use one more than the other, or whatever. But again, we're not gonna go that deep because I the last time I made this video was about an hour. Okay. That's another story, but okay. Step 7, learn how to understand the statements and billing cycles. This is a crash course. Okay, I'm showing you one of my mentees uh, 3 different cards that they have, and yeah, 2 are unsecured and 1 secured. But as you can see, Chase is the only one that is consistent. It will always start on the 24th, and it will always end on the 23rd of the month, and your due date will always be on the 20th. Right here, I use it to explain that any money that you spend in this cycle here, right, will not need to be paid until the 20th. So you roughly have about 55 to 65 days, depending on the number of the days in the month, right? To basically pay whatever you use. Okay, so you use the card, let's say through here, right? It ends, right? And you don't log in to pay off the balance. Whatever balance you have on the 24th, right? Well, actually on the 23rd, right? When the day's done, it will report to the bureaus. Usually takes 3 to 7 days sometimes, depending on your credit card. And sometimes the bureaus are just, I don't know what's going on. They might be late. But yeah, that's when it will reports, right? So even though let's say you're gonna pay it off on the 20th, right? Um, you know, you're gonna put it on auto pay and it's gonna pay the statement balance from this cycle, right? From the money you use on this cycle, right? It's still going to report to the bureau. So if you don't want it reporting to the bureau because utilization is what basically brings on your score, especially if you're going to get some kind of financing. If you're not going to get financing, then don't worry about it. Just set it on auto pay to pay the statement balance and call it a day. But when you're ready to start getting some kind of financing for a car or a house or whatever, you really got to pay attention and basically log in, right? Let the automatic do its thing. And if you spend any money during you see here because there's gonna be like 4 days of limbo. Okay, if you spend any money during this day, even though you paid off the balance, well, you're adding new charges to the balance. Okay, so and then once it closes on the 23rd, it's gonna report and depending on how much you utilize how much you're utilizing on the card, it will drastically affect your credit score, especially once you go beyond 30. And that's why I gave you this thing right here called the credit card manager, right? Where you can plug in the information because you can see right here, if you plug in your balance, that's really all you really got to adjust. Okay. Well, after you put in your limit, right, all you got to do is adjust the balance. That's why it's in blue over here. And let's say here. So let's say I spent 2,500. Oops. Right now, it's showing that I have 50% utilization. Right. In order to be 14%, right, or lower, the balance cannot go higher than $700. So if you want to get it to that $700 balance, then you need to pay off. Come on, get off. You need to pay 1,800. Okay. If it's positive, then that means you have extra money to utilize before you cross over the the utilization. Okay. So I put 14 here, but let's say nine is better for sure. What the hell? Why is there a point there? Nine is better. Okay. So now three, it changes all the formula. Okay. So as you can see, Capital One has a funky one. I move these kind of halfway here. All right, so that it shows that the conservative time to start using the card is on the 27th. It could have started on the 25th, but again, the way they do it is a nightmare compared to Chase, right? And exact same thing with US Bank. As you can see, US Bank has a 4-day kind of gap window, which is even more annoying. But again, I'm not going to get into in this. This is more for if you hire me as a consultant, right? Or actually, when you hire my services, I'll give you all that too. Okay, so I want you to win. I don't want you to lose. Okay. Anyways, once you gather all that information, you make a calendar to track your open and end dates on your right your starting and ending cycles of your bills, right? And due dates, and set up an auto pay to pay the last statement balance. Okay. As you can see, this is kind of how it would look like, where I have the due date, and then I have this right here, this band telling you, okay, don't use the card during this time if you don't want to add more to the balance, and it reports and therefore affects your credit score. Again, you should only worry about your credit score when you're about to, trying to, get some kind of credit or loan or whatever, right? Step 8, use and pay. So now that you have your 3 secure credit cards, right? You understand the cycles and how they work. You ladies should understand that, right? um, use and pay. What? Use and pay on time. Use and pay. Sorry, I'm building the plane as we fly it. Anyways, use and pay them on time for 6 months, and you should have a 700 plus credit score by the end of it. Okay, and 700 basically is, let's say, the first tier, right? Yes, you can do stuff with 680 stuff like that, but 700 is the first tier. And okay, so the nuance here, right? So the reason why I'm telling you to get 3 cards, I could have just said, "Oh, just get 1 card," and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, because the way the algorithm is written, right? The more cards you have, in a sense, right, and and you're paying them on time, basically it builds the credit faster. Again, there's also diminishing returns. So I'm not saying, hey, go get 6 card and it's probably going to be, no, actually 3 is the sweet spot, right? Anything after 3, there is no gain. Just like I'm telling people too, after 720, right? This whole, hey, I got 800 credit score. It does not matter, people. That's all a bunch of hoopla. Okay. As long as you have 720 and above, you're Gucci. All right. In modern day vernacular. But all right, so now you also may want to get 2 authorized users ASAP. The older their credit cards, the better. But minimum each authorized user credit card must be 7 years or older, and ideally with limits over 3K, but 10K is even better. Okay, optional because you will truly. It is optional because you will truly be judged by your own personal credit, anyways. Especially for the biz funding aspect. Okay, if you're gonna get business funding, but also be very careful who you choose. Okay, because if they rack up utilization and they don't pay it down, it will affect your credit score. Okay, even though you didn't do it, right? So again, it's a double-edged sword, but it can help you on your personal credit side with the points and everything else and the age of your credit history, but it's also a danger if they don't pay it, if they overutilize it. So it if they overutilize it, but they know they're going to pay it next month, they're like, oh damn, yeah, I got caught up. Okay, it's doesn't matter. And of course, if you're not looking to apply for any credit, don't worry about it. Okay, so the points are going to go up and down or whatever, but again, if you're not trying to get any new money, any new credit, it does not matter. So don't be, oh, my points went down. You don't need them. Okay. But anyways, but if you donate monthly to my mission on PayPal, I will give you two authorized users. Okay, so there's services where you would pay for that. So at least once you well, that'll be my greater project, which I'm not going to get into this, but I think once you hear it, you'd be like, you know what, it's worth donating, even without giving the authorized users. But I still want to give back for for something that you gave as well. Okay, so yeah, so there is that option as well. Again, I'm building a team here well, call it a tribe, all different kinds of things. But yeah, I'm gonna have a network people who, again, I teach them this, and they're no longer gonna touch the personal side. So since I'm paying it forward, they'll pay it forward too, and they'll probably help you. Again, if we feel you're, you know, I guess worthy of it. Okay. So, but anyways, step nine, pre-qualify with these cards first before really applying, just to see what you may get. Okay. Now I'm not showing it to you here, right? So if you want the list, I think there's 10 cards, right? And I'll explain the strategy later when you email me. But yes, basically there's certain cards that you can pre-apply for, and some of them will tell you exactly um what you're gonna get. So so if you're getting pre-approvals with these pre-qualified cards, then you're ready to go to the next stage. You know that you got basically a bomb uh, credit profile, and you should be able to get these next cards, which is this next step, which is then apply to get 3 or 4 unsecured credit cards, right? And this one I am going to give you some freebies here, okay? So again, I looked at all their credit products, as they call them, right? Their finance products, and this is by far the best. Now, again, if you're a traveler, then there'll be some exceptions, but usually what I see with these traveling cards that give you lots of travel points, they're usually charging you an annual fee because they know that has way more value than the cash value. All right? So, I didn't put links to this because sometimes the links, they'll refresh them, so you just got to type in these specific words and you'll be okay, okay? So, I'm gonna try to put some links, and again, if they don't work, then again, that's why I took a screenshot here. Okay, so first card, Chase Freedom again because they are the top dogs, and if you do right with them and build that basically internal credit score, right, and build in a sense you're building a relationship with them, then when you get that business card down the road, you're probably gonna get beyond the usual 25 that they give. Okay. So then built again because of the points, but more importantly because you can pay rent with it. I've heard people have also paid their mortgage with it because you end up just doing an account and routing number, so it's just like a check anyway. So, uh, but yeah, this one's killer because you know, well, I don't know about now, but let's say if you're lucky enough to afford your own apartment when you're 21 or whatever, or even 18 or whatever, right? You and your homies, whatever, right? At least you can use this card and you'll be building your credit and getting points back for again money you're gonna have to pay anyway, so might as well put it on the card, okay? So all those David Ramsey, oh, credit is bad. It's like, bro, no. If you have the money and you pay the balance after at the end of every month. Well, actually, it's every 2 months when like I said, like I just showed you in the diagram there. Then you have no worry about interest, and also all of these, I specifically chose them. Actually, I don't know about this one, but this one again, 0% APR for 15 months. 15 months. So if you want, you can keep a balance because the usual 2-3% that they're going to make you pay, um, it's going to be nothing, and whatever you pay with that minimum payment you're making will go directly to the principal because you have 0% AP intro APR for 15 months. That's pretty good, and you're still going to get the cash back, and you can get a $200 bonus after you spend $500 on it. Okay, so you can actually make some money on this. Okay, so. I think this one has it too, but again, I don't remember. But I know again this one, even if it doesn't have that 0% APR, which I'm pretty sure it does because I know I looked into it. But again, even if it does, maybe if I'm wrong, It's the ability to pay your rent with this credit card and get points back, which is pretty high. I mean, they got some pretty good ones here. It's great. Okay, one of the best cards out there. And then there's just your American Express card. Again, no annual fee, and check it out, 0% interest on balance transfer for 15 months. I'm sorry, on purchases and balances. Okay, you got to be careful because sometimes they'll just be like on transfer balance transfers, But again, I scrutinize all these cards, and then Apple Card. This is one of those. This is actually one of the ones that you use to pre-qualify, right? But again, you don't apply to this one first. First, you apply to Chase. Okay, again, there is a method to this madness. Okay, so yeah, that's why as much information I'm giving you here, sometimes it's still better just to hire a mentor or whatever. Okay, so yeah, if you know my story of how I found this particular thing, I paid 15% as well, but they didn't tell me about LLC. They didn't tell me about the C corp, right? It was all on personal, and they mentioned it, but they didn't really say, hey, this is better. And that's why I'm different from everybody else, because I have been in multiple startups and ran multiple businesses, right? That these people don't know. These people just found this and just hopped on it, versus I was running other businesses. That's why I didn't hop on it, because I was too busy running other stuff anyways. But so yeah, anyways, Apple Card, not only would you can pre-qualify with the soft pool, but it will tell you how much you're going to get. Most cards do not do that. As far as I know, only Apple does that. And from what I've seen from one of my clients, they give you large sums, which is important. Okay, that's why you want this in your I guess your arsenal. Okay, so that's why I said four. So you might just want to skip this one, but having six trade lines at this point, sorry, it would be seven trade lines at this point. It's good. Okay, so anyways, and here's some tip right here. So after you get credit cards, freeze and or lock your credit report. They're pretty much the same. There's a difference. I forgot. I got to put the screenshot somewhere around here, but for the most part, just freeze or lock it, and that way no one can apply on your behalf, and they don't steal your identity and cause all kinds of whatever, right? And also never close your oldest credit card, okay? Never, 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 okay? Because that will affect again, this is a time thing, right? You are hard, how do I put it, hard. There's no way around it, okay? You're gonna have to have a minimum of 2 years of having a credit card history, with 2 years or nothing. Even your term loans, also, that doesn't matter as much as the credit cards, because again, if you're going to get the business funding, what are you getting? Business credit cards. So they're going to compare your personal credit cards with that, right? Yes, some banks will also look at your overall comparable credit, right? Some of them do like to see, if you had some former car loans, if you have a mortgage, or you had personal loans that you had, right? Term loans, basically, right? As opposed to revolving accounts. So that's neither here nor there right now, okay? So yeah, oh yeah. So if you travel a lot, then look into travel hacking, right? There's plenty of videos out there. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't like traveling, even though you'll see you'll see me traveling a little bit. I am gonna study into it, but again, I'm not a really a big proponent on that right now. So I'm just keeping it simple here, okay? But if you know you are, then look into that and figure out how to get to maximize the points from that, because yes, that's a lot of value there when it comes to saving money on airfare. Step number 11, use and pay them off for 2 years minimum. Okay. Again, you can carry the balance while that 0% interest, but again, and even if you don't pay it off by the time that goes over, it's not really the end of the world. Here's the funny part, that some of you who already have credit card debt, right? Especially if you look it up there. Oh, right. It says right there, 10K, right? The 10K um sorry, win 10K if you put your life in order. And so because the average credit card debt for people is about 5-7 G's, right? So that's why I said, okay, I'm gonna do 10 G's, okay, just to make it that proverbial 10 G's, 10 grand, whatever, right? So yeah, so if you which I'll get into later, not too much, but if you document yourself putting your life in order, For a year, I will give you the $10,000. You pay off your credit cards, right? Hopefully, you have three at that point, right? At least three minimum unsecured, and your credit score is gonna skyrocket, and then we can go get you some more funding, um, you know, for if you want to do business, So I'm talking both just to people. This can also be good for your personal, but also your business. Like, of course, I'm mainly more for the business people, but I'm just saying. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, and then every 3 to 6 months, call for a credit limit increase. That's what that means, right? Try to get one or more cards over 3K limit, right? Within the two. So that's what I'm saying. It might take you 3 years to get the card higher, right? But yeah, try to get one or more card over 3K limit, but 10K is better. All right. Now, if you donate to my mission on PayPal, here's another opportunity. I will put some big expenses on your card and pay them off. Okay, and so will some of my other mentees, right? Be like, hey, let's help this person. Again, I don't know the criteria who I will choose. Maybe it'll just be luck of a draw of the hat. That way, it's completely random, and we're not making any favors or being biased or whatever. But yeah. So I can put some big expenses on there, pay it off because the chances of you getting a credit limit increase, see, that's the thing. See, because if the credit cards don't see you, in a sense, this is where maxing them out might not be is not bad, especially if you pay it off. So yeah, so if the credit cards don't see that you're maxing them out, they're probably not going to give you any more credit. Though sometimes they do give you credit again, because again, the reason why it's a yes and no answer is because different credit card companies do different things, and sometimes they're changing their shit on a last minute thing. Okay, because yeah, my current client, yeah, she doesn't use that much, and there she has like 17K on one card, 11K on another card, and yeah, she doesn't, but she's like 47, right, 46 or whatever, and so yeah, it's been over the years, and the reason why they give you sometimes more credit is so that basically you're tempted to use it and get caught up in their web, okay. But so yeah, so there's that. You sometimes will not get those credit limit increases unless the credit card sees that you need that you've been using it and you've been paying it off. And so yes, unfortunately the system does reward you, and it does tend to want to keep you in debt in a sense. But even if you have to keep a little bit of balances, sometimes some cards are known to not, if you don't keep a balance, then they know they can't make money off of you, so they probably will deny you sometimes. Sometimes that's the bad part about our society. Sometimes we reward the insane and punish the humane. So by the time maybe you do need some credit and you ask for, they're like, well, you never hold the balance, and so we're not going to give it to you. Okay, so sometimes that's why some people actually will, they'll like basically they'll give a little profit to the credit cards by leaving, a 1%, 2% balance, right? And let them charge their interest for that little bit for that month, and then they pay it off, right? So, or they never pay it off. They just leave a little bit just to, I guess make the credit cards happy, but in general, just pay it off. Because again, we're gonna go to the LLC side anyways, or the business side. Okay. Now, in the meantime, step 12, in the meantime, while you're waiting for your credit cards to mature for those 2 to 3 years, right? If you need a car, lease it, please lease it. Now, of course, I know somebody, well, if you don't have the money, period, then it's a different story. But basically because at this point, after even the secured, after you do the 6 months of the secured credit card, right? And let's say you do another 6 months with your unsecured credit cards, by that year you should have again that 720 easily. And again, in the car world, and I know because I could show you my Audi, right? When I was in Oregon and I bought it from California and had it shipped, right? um, you know, they said that, as long as I have a 720, I get the best financing rate. Okay, so 720 is basically uh the you're in the good credit, and there really isn't, you really don't get more extra, I guess, kudos or savings from having that 800. Okay, so as long as you have 720, congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, and yeah. So yeah, so lease or finance it as long as possible. Okay, because if you're going to finance in 5 years and you're really going to, again, you're going to go to Super Saiyan level 3, credit level 3. then this will be good to have in your profile. You see, because the banks will want to look at at what they call trade lines, whether it's a revolving trade line or a term loan trade line, right? These are all trade line, meaning someone lend you money. Okay, well they lend you credit really, but yeah, someone lend you credit, and they want to see that you're worthy of paying back, that you're trustworthy, right? So talk about this whole social credit system that China has and all this stuff. Well, we already have one, obviously not as draconian as probably China's going to be or is, but yes, we kind of already have them with credit. And again, if we didn't have this system, you would have your own with your own friends, right? Just like, oh, I can't trust Bobby with giving him $10 because he'll never pay me back, right? So yeah. Now, yes, obviously their algorithm is skewed to make it pretty hard. Like I said, that's why this video is here, right? Some of us has figured out the algorithm, and this is unfortunately what you got to do. Yes, it would have been nice if all you needed was one credit card, right? But that you're gonna see, for those of you like, why haven't I reached this number yet? It's because one credit card, it just is not enough. It doesn't give it enough data. Okay. So that's why you want three minimum. And of course, you want these other ones if you want to go to the Super Saiyan level 2 and 3. Anyways, so yeah, so the reason I say lease a car is because it's better to have emergency funds than to put down on a car loan. Okay, especially if you know about Bitcoin, which I'm not going to get into, right? Uh, but again, it depends how much emergency funds you have. So if you don't have the proverbial 6 months, right? I'll probably say higher, but let's just say 6 months. Then basically you have no, what do they call it? You have no right in a sense. You have no right to be investing. It's just not your time right now. It's just not worth it, right? Too many unknown variables. Okay. Now, unless you're spoiled and you live with your parents and a bunch of other stuff and they're rich or whatever, they have a life insurance policy. Might be a different story, but people are living longer. So yeah, I would just say have the cash ready, right? So the example I give, let's say you have $5,000 to put down, but you're only going to need $1,000 to get into a lease. Okay, so now you have $4,000. Okay, $4,000 that you can have as an emergency fund or an opportunity fund, right? Because again, if you get in my network, you'd be like, oh, damn, again, I'm not, I'm trying to kind of, I'm trying to lead by example of, being very wealthy, but not be greedy with it and help people and create a whole community. But, anyways, so yeah, so that's my logic. Yes, it will cost you more monthly, but think about it. Okay, there's pros and cons to everything. Don't get me wrong, there's pros and cons to everything, but you have a 3-year lease, ideally, no longer than that. And usually cars start breaking down around 3 to 4 years anyway, so you won't have any repairs. Usually the lease will have the oil maintenance and everything already included. Okay, the warranty, everything's warranty. Okay, that way you don't have to buy an extended warranty for the car if you're buying a used one. Let's say that too. If you buy a used car, you have no idea if you're buying a lemon, even though there's lemon laws, it's still a headache. It still costs money to prosecute people and chase after them, okay? So yes, so I got a lot to teach you. I know I may look young, but I'm 40 years old, and I'm more older in the sense that I have put myself in many different risky situations, because without risk, there's no reward. Okay, yeah, no risk, no reward. Okay, so I'm telling you now, it's better to lease. It's going to cost you less. You're going to have a brand new car every 3 years. Okay, you're not going to have to deal with maintenance issues, right? By the time it starts giving you any issues with the car, you're already returning it. Okay, and of course, since you have that $4,000 that you had, and maybe you invest in yourself or did some other things, you'll have extra money. Okay, so yes, it's better to have cash on hand, and you'll have that in your record as well, that you were able to pay that lease off. Okay. Step 13, if you need furniture for your apartment, get a personal loan and make it worth it. Okay, because again, the system rewards those that have debt. And of course, the way most people are, the way things are, most of you have to finance everything either, right? Anyway, so that's why it's like you're gonna have to understand credit, because eventually you're gonna need it to buy a house. If you're gonna be one of those, I need to buy a house and follow that path, then you definitely need good credit, right? And the earlier you start, the better. Anyways, so here we go. Um, So yeah, get yourself a good bed, a good cell phone, and a laptop, etc. Right. So here I give you some examples. Right. I created this. It's just kind of like me. I'm just I like to look at my life very detailed, and so I reflected back. I'm like, okay, these are the best underwears, right? That's how I sleep in my bed, right? So these are the things we we wake up there and we end there, right? So this is my starting point. That's why I say, okay, what's the best bed, right? You want a protector, right? You want to protect the this, you're going to be sleeping a lot, so it's a good investment to. This is part investing in your health, right? And might as well make it quality. So you put a bed protector. So let's say in case you do want to liquidate it for whatever reason, right? Maybe because these usually beds sell pretty well actually on Craigslist. But yeah, maybe you're like, you know what? I don't like this bed. I want to upgrade. I got more money now. Now you peel out the thing and the cushion is perfect, so you can have a higher resale value. Okay. Of course, you want to protect yourself, a gun, right? This is my phone right here. The S, well, no, it's the S24 now. But yeah, a good charging cable, right? Some good sheets, right? Blah 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 blah. Right? Get yourself a good bidet. $50. Not this one, but this one's from Amazon. I might get this one next time, but yeah, there's a pretty cheap one on at Home Depot for $50. Okay, get yourself a good grooming kit as a man and even as a woman. Obviously, these three-way mirrors are awesome, right? Yes, learn how to cut your hair, men. That's what I do. Anyways, yes, get yourself some good clothing, right? Dress well, right? This is just kind of what I like to wear. I'm a minimalist when it comes to that, but quality as well. And also get yourself a good suit. I'm about to buy this suit here soon, or from X. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm probably gonna buy both of them just to have two, just compare, because they say I can return them. So I had this custom velvet suit made, but it just has no stretch, and it's amazing looking, but I cannot defend myself, and I need to be able to defend myself. Even though we live in the safest time in America and in the world, but yeah, I still want to be able to move and breathe as well. All right. Get yourself a good desk, right? Get yourself a good screen, again, laptop, whatever. Right. These are my different setups. This was in Florida. This is well, now it's I kind of redid what I have in Florida over here. Because I'm gonna leave it with my family, but while I'm out traveling the world. But anyways, just being a digital nomad for a little bit. Anyways, also but so the note here is the alternative is using your credit cards. So if you don't want to get the personal loan, um, I can't blame you, especially if you got some of these credit cards with 0% interest. You can already start getting it, getting some of the stuff. And just again, since you have that 0% interest, that's why I focused on 0% interest for those long times, 15 months, right? And yeah, so yeah, not all debt is bad. Okay, so this is an investment into you by you having a good sleep, being fresh and clean, right? Nice and groomed, right? Looking good, right? Halo effect can also benefit your bottom line and your life, right? Your sex life, your marriage life, whatever. Just people favor people who look clean, look good, and whatnot. So, like I said, this is why it's called life in order. Okay, I don't just help you. Again, it's optional, all right, but it's always there. So yeah, I just don't put your finances in order for your whole business stuff. I want to give you the whole holistic package. All right. But that's neither here nor there right now. Step 14, book a call. Right. So once that time has passed, right, to 2-3 years, right, now you can book a call with me to buy an HD Corp to leverage your good credit, or just get an LLC too. I'm not going to get into what the difference is primarily. That's for other videos, but because now I know this is a video, it's already an hour and 8 minutes. But again, I told you I'm going to give you value here. Okay. So for those who are like, oh, especially I got a special thing at the end. Oh no, I think I already said that. Oh well, that's not really a surprise, but I'll reiterate it at the end. But anyways, yeah. So you hire me to guide you through the whole process and then some. And then some means like um, the helping you structure and organize your personal life and businesses. Okay. So for the most part, it'll be 15% of the total funding I get you. If you want to pay on the back end, that way there's no upfront cost, and you just pay me off of the money you're gonna get anyways, right? So and it's gonna be 0% interest. So and it's gonna be a good chunk, as I'll show you in other videos of what will be left over after you pay the fees and whatnot, depending on what options you choose. Okay. Now, if you only want to pay 10%, then you pay me 5K up front. I made this little spreadsheet here, but I deleted it. to show you the difference of how much you're going to save by choosing each one of these. But yeah, and then or 15K upfront flat fee again, because that's what my competitors are doing. And but I know again they don't. I'll give you this much: very rarely do any of my competitors talk about the C corp, because it is a little more stringent. But what I told you to do here will set you up for Super Saiyan level 3 credit, or Super Saiyan credit level 3. Okay, so all right. So as I can say here, as I say here, yeah, get a yeah. So now you get business funding. 500K. That's definitely on the C corp level. I mean, you could do it with the LLC as well. Okay, I'm going to tell you the secret here now. Basically, when you apply for business credit cards, you're going to get inquiries on your credit report. Don't worry, it's not going to affect your points like that. Okay, you're going to get inquiries on your credit report, and then we'll remove them, and then we'll get another round of funding. We'll remove it and get another round of funding. You can basically do that indefinitely. You may have to register a foreign registration in another state and go there personally to get the money, but you can basically do that forevermore. Now, of course, most people stop because eventually, when you have enough capital, certain businesses, yeah, you won't need that much capital, right? You'll be like, okay, I have enough capital, right? I had enough capital to start. I see I have enough reserves, and so we're good, But your personal profile will always look clean. So let's say all of a sudden you do tap into your reserves and you still need some more for whatever reason, you have that perfect clean credit. Unlike what I did, I didn't know that. I went and got a lot of money, invested in different things. One of them was doing really well, so I went all in, and people were retarded, and I lost $200,000. Okay, so when I say, hey, learn from my mistakes, trust me, I learned from my, sorry, yeah, there's a lot of things. I'm basically giving you $500,000 worth of value and 20 years worth of experience. So that time is kind of almost incalculable, but the easy part to quantify was definitely the money that I spent in many different ways to learn all this. Okay, so yeah. So I'm saying this is minimum $15,000 worth of value, if not even more. Because I said my competition, they won't even give you this, even though it would help them. They're too busy already fulfilling their customers, right? And since I'm kind of somewhat just a starter, right? Not really, not. I'm just finally putting myself out there for the most part. So yeah, I have clients, but this is from inner networking and stuff like that. But now I hired a team to take care of all that. So, but that's why I'm making these videos too, so you can have somewhat of a gauge of who I am. And also, I'll be like, hey, just go watch this video. Lots of information, right? It's also part of my automation system as well. It's like, okay, you have no credit. Okay, well, I can't really help you, but I can help you by giving you this free video with all the steps you need to do to whatever. And if you're not clear, then you can hire me, to give you a one-on-one consultation. And yeah, because well, I'm not gonna get into it. All right, so already tired here. Let's see. So yeah, so you'll get business funding. 500K. You can do some damage with 500K. You probably generally won't need that much, again, depending on the different business, but that's why, again, the C corp allows you to go raise private equity. Okay, and that's why it's a higher cost to entry, but you have more leverage if you get the C corp, right? So so anyways, but also you can also skip to the step if you get a capital partner to co-sign. Okay, so I'm working on that. I'm about to do it myself. um I'm not gonna get too much into it, but let's just say by the time probably most of you reach me and do all this, it'll already be in play, right? But yes, it's not cheap, but time is money, and you won't have to wait 2 to 3 years for your credit to develop. Okay, someone already has great credit. They don't they're not ambitious, but they want to make some extra income, so they'll take the risk, right? Of course, you'll be liable for it anyways, just like how you'll be personally guaranteeing all this stuff. So yeah, that's another thing. So if anybody tells you, oh, no personal guarantee, this only your EIN number, that's primarily all completely bullshit. Okay, you have to, especially when you get some large limits with great 0% interest, right? Because those other ones that are, yes, there's it's not person guaranteed. They usually have a higher interest, and they're still going to end up bugging you anyways to collect the money if you default. Okay, so yeah, so there is that option as well. And now step 16. So let's say now you get that money, okay? You'll probably have like 400, a little over $400,000 to play with after you pay all the fees and all those stuff, right? Especially, well, if you're, yeah, yeah, somewhere again. I'll make another video later on explaining, depending on the details, because it also depends on where you end up getting your corporation. Like I found out for Florida, it's going to cost me an additional $1,200, but that's where I want to be. So, but anyways, so after you get that money, you do not want to start a business from scratch like I did. This was my mistake. Okay, another value thing I'm going to give you. This is the 20 plus years. Okay, you want to buy some kind of cleaning company, i.e., home cleaning, landscaping, car washes, laundromats, right? Whatever for instant cash flow. Okay, and you can find one that already has an operator. Okay, so that way you can focus. All right. So as I say here, or a business that you already. Sorry. The other thing is, okay, so people are like, well, I don't want to. Again, that's why you want one with an operator. Okay, but you could also, hey, if you could also get a business that you already have experience in, unless you buy one with an operator, then you are free to focus on other things. Okay, so I would say buy this for the cash flow with an operator, right? A manager, basically, right? So you can focus on whatever you want to do, and maybe go find a business that you want to do because it's your passion or whatever. Okay, or you can join my mission and buy into my co-ops because there'll be different co-ops. You can choose a mixture or one of them, it doesn't matter, and earn while you learn how to run a business. So if you never ran a business before, this would probably be your better bet, right? So so that because I mean there's only so much I can mentor you, but real life world I think is a better teacher, okay? It's because remember, so yeah, just remember, united we stand, divided we fall. Okay. So that's what I'm ultimately going to show you people like, listen, you can go and try to create a business from scratch. And I'm not showing it here, but I'll make another video showing you, and it'll be another long video of me just telling you all the different business, showing you all the different business models. And probably some of them you're already doing. And some of them will be like, yeah, he's right. He's right. Like, damn. And then you'll see other business models like, oh yeah, damn, Dan's right. Like less input, more output. Damn, like fuck this business model. I'm going over here. Right. So what was I saying? Um, so yeah, it's a delicate balance because, well, if I were to find somebody that I can join my capital with, I would, but I haven't. Right. So um but as for you guys, because again, I kind of already paid the cost of discovery, so there's really no point in I guess joining them because now they're gonna benefit from what I'm doing, right? So yeah, so this is more for people who never had an experience. It's better to like do this. If you have somewhat confidence of what you're doing in your business, well, okay, then fine. Start it from scratch. Maybe you have some momentum, right? You have some. It's not from scratch, but you have some momentum. Okay, fine. But also, hey, if you uh hey, you are free to learn the hard way like I did and waste a lot of money and time. Okay, this is me trying to save you from wasting all that time and money. Okay, because I probably will have multiple co-ops in many different industries that you probably already interested in, whatever. And it's better to see what's going on and just start making profit from there. Though we gain together and we lose together. So I won't get into a documentary that you guys should watch. That'll be for another video. I'm getting tired here. It's already 12 in the morning. Been working on this all day just to polish it up and get it to you guys. So, because I know I'm about to hit it hard with these co-working spaces, and I want them to have some kind of information on the YouTube there so they can see me. YouTube, X, and TikTok. So yeah. But anyways, so recap, right? AKA all you need to know about credit card. Sorry, all you need to know about credit. You will need to get 3 secured credit cards and use them properly for 6 months to fast track. Okay, that's the key word. Fast track your credit score to 700. All right. Also, you got to understand the start and end dates to your billing cycle, as I kind of already went over there, right? Went over it with you guys, and your due date. Okay. Also, get 2 authorized users. The older the better, but 7 years old, 7 years old minimum, and at least one card with 3K and above, or another card with 10 with a 10K limit and above. All right. Then you apply for 3 unsecured credit cards, 3 or 4, as I showed you up there, and use those properly as well for 2 years minimum or 3 years for even stronger profile. Obviously, but just I said obviously because I'm saying use them properly, right? Just for those, just for those with without some common sense, because common sense is not that common as some of us. I think business owners realize that a lot more because you get to go through a lot more people and see who they really are when they're given an opportunity or put under pressure or whatever. So yeah, then you should lease a car for 3 years after getting the unsecured credit cards if you plan on going Super Saiyan credit level 2 or 3. Then you should get a personal loan with a 5-year term to upgrade your bed, cell phone, laptop, bathroom, clothes, skill sets, etc. Right? Make it count. Again, there's an option you can just use credit cards to do that, but again, banks like to see mixed use of credit. Okay, the system rewards yes you for being in debt, but again, there's good debt and then there's bad debt. Okay, I think it's good debt when you invest in yourself again to look good, smell good, look clean, groomed, dress well, right, sleep well, all that stuff as I just said up there. Okay. Let's see, but only if you plan on going Super Saiyan. Yeah, but only if you plan on going Super Saiyan credit level 2 or 3. If you're not, then don't even worry about it. Just keep using the credit cards, right? Because they'll eventually increase the limit, and then you can go buy something more expensive or whatever, right? If need be. Now, if you just want to be and stay in Super Saiyan credit level 1, just stick with the 3 credit cards, and you can ask. Well, technically, you'll have 6 now, because the Discover will graduate. The Chase is probably giving you, again, some they'll Chase will probably be giving you an unsecured one, even though you kind of did secure it by deposit making a bank account with them. I think you got to keep that 250 though there. Period. So it's one of those weird hybrid cards. Like I said, you really want to build a relationship with Chase because they're the biggest. They're all across America, and they give you great credit limits, but they're very finicky and picky, and that's why you basically always apply with them first on the personal and the business side. Okay, I'm giving you little nuggets on the business world as well. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, just stick with the 3 credit cards, and you ask for credit limit increases every 3 to 6 months. Some of them will do it automatically. Those are the nice ones, but again, it's hard to predict. And also, as I keep seeing, people sweat. So I'm saying here, don't sweat if your score drops. So long as your score is 700 or 720, then basically the higher the score, especially on the business funding side, the higher score just means you get more funding on your first round. So you basically you reach your capacity, right? Depending on what you choose, right? Because depending on where you get the corporation, certain states have more banks and others don't. Okay. So you can still get the same funding with a lower credit score. It's going to take more rounds, but if you have a higher credit score, it was just going to be faster. That's basically all it is, right? But you still has to be a 700 at least minimum. There's other things you can do with the 680 stuff like that, but again, it's just going to be longer, right? And you're probably not going to get as favorable terms, especially when you start getting into the lines of credit. Okay, so yeah, your ideal goal is at 720. Okay, that's what we really want you to be at before we go get this LLC or C corp funding. Okay, then then you will get the best rates for the most part. That's what I'm saying, for the most part, because every lender has different underwriting matrices and sometimes change them like that. Okay, so that's why no one can predict anything. There's people that have been doing this and they still get denied sometimes as well. But so when I say I help you get business credit and so much more and yada yada yada, right? So yeah, business funding, and what I mean is I also help you organize your life, because the chances of you having successful business life, is slim if your personal life is all messed up, because they're intertwined. Unfortunately, they're intertwined at the end of the day. Okay. So these are my systems. I erased all the other information, but just giving you some bit of how I break down these sectors, right? And the reason these are green is because these are the most important. The reason time is the most important of them all is because no matter if you're a billionaire or a homeless person, we all have 24 hours in a day. Of course, the billionaire, in a sense, has more time freedom, right? Well, sort of. Now, it's neither here nor there. I'm not even going to talk about that, but yeah. So you want to master your time, right? It's broken down into daily skills, weekly skills, tasks, monthly task, yearly task, okay? Then there's the health. As you can see, I can go on and on. These are all systems. Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. I may, I may look young, but I'm 40 years old, and beyond 40 years old, I am very organized. People have told me I'm one of the most organized persons I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not even done yet, people. I'm not even done yet because certain things I can't. Well, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, it's only going to get more and more refined. And there's systems to all these different things to help you be on point and I guess kill it in the business world. So that's it. That's the whole presentation there. I hope you guys found value. Again, feel free to donate. Those that donate are going to get a very, 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 very special surprise. Sorry, gift. So when you cash at me, right, or PayPal me, just say when they say for what, say it's a gift. Just put gift, the word gift, and everything's good. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but yeah, those that donate will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, because I'm a very generous man here. Okay. Now again, before I go, um, 10K, you can there it is, perfect. Win 10K for putting your life in order, right? It'll be a year. Uh, document yourself on YouTube, right? Probably upload some of your videos or make a playlist on my channel as well with your videos, and yeah, so the world can see, right, that the systems I got, I'm gonna make you an exceptional man and an exceptional woman and an exceptional person. Period. Okay, so you guys haven't seen nothing yet. Peace and good luck to all of you.